I have a basket full of makeup that I love, so let's do my everyday makeup routine while I give you some life updates. I asked you guys over on Instagram, what are some questions that you want to be answered? And a lot of you guys were just like, girl, we want a life update. Your man is here after 5 years of long distance. Give us that update. So the top question was, how has life been since your husband came to New York? If you follow me on TikTok, I posted this video. There's a hair. And I told you guys this is how life is going to sound when my husband is here. It sounded exactly like that. Oh, it was like the best feeling. I don't know how to describe it to you guys. It was just so surreal. I still kept feeling like it was fake. Every time I would wake up, I was like, is this a dream? Am I dreaming? The girlies online would always tell me, girl, when your husband comes here, like that feeling is gonna be like no other. And they were right. Like, so the girlies that are watching now that are waiting for their partners to come and they're currently in long distance, just know it's gonna happen and it's going to be the best feeling. When you get that feeling, all that weight is just gonna disappear. You're just not gonna remember the pain, the tears, the sadness. You're just gonna remember that moment. But I do want to say that I feel like I have PTSD. For example, this other day we went to a museum day and we spent the whole day together, but then I had to go to a brand event. He had to go meet a client and we were saying goodbyes at the train station and I told him this feels like me leaving you in Pakistan all over again. 4 months in and I still feel the whole like PTSD feeling. That's what I feel like. At any moment, someone's gonna come and knocking at the door and going, okay, wrap it up, let's go. We're still getting used to like finding a routine that works with both of us. My most asked question, why did it take your husband 5 years to come from Pakistan to New York? But before we spill that hot piping tea, a word from our sponsor, ZocDoc. I found a lump in my right breast 2 years ago, a lump that I took way too long to get checked out. Thankfully, it was a benign tumor, but what if it wasn't? When I first discovered it, it was the size of a grape. But when I got it checked out, it was almost the size of a golf ball. I know. Sanis, why didn't you go to the doctor? One, I was terrified because it was rapidly growing. And two, I couldn't find a doctor. Either the doctors I found were out of network, or if they were in network, they were hours away from me. Now I feel my wisdom tooth coming in, but I'm not making the same mistake twice. I have ZocDoc now. My sponsor, ZocDoc, is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and choose the right one for your needs. From mental health to dental care, eye care to skincare, it's a one-stop and shop for doctors. And my favorite part, you can filter for doctors that take your insurance, are located nearby you, and are a good fit for your medical needs. You can see their actual appointment openings and pick a time that works best for you and book it instantly. You can even score same-day appointments like me. I booked my dentist appointment for tomorrow morning, but while I'm at it, I should book my dermatologist too. But 2025 is the year we stop putting off those doctor appointments. Go to zoc.com/Sundus, also linked in the description box, to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor. Back to regular scheduled programming. But you better make that doctor's appointment. Anybody that's going through that same visa process knows how brutal it is. It sucks the life out of you. Your girl was depressed. But the reason why our visa was delayed was because the person that was handling our case, who is a family relative by the way, accidentally wrote that my husband is going to be having his interview visa here in the US instead of Pakistan. Sir, how's he gonna do his interview here if he doesn't even have a visa? What? All is forgiven because everything happens for a reason. For 4 years, I was like, you did what? Oh my god, and it was during COVID time. I got married in 2019, and when I came back, I went back to Pakistan in January, came back in February, and then COVID hit, like February, everything was shut down. We had already like submitted our initial form, which was, I believe, the I-30, and in that form, there's a little section on the bottom that says, send this case to NVC, which is the National Visa Center. He did not check that box, and then the address, he wrote the US. Because I think he got confused with the beneficiary and the petitioner aspect of it all. I am gonna say, ladies, always trust your intuition. When your gut is telling you something, believe it. How did I find out? I need to cool off right now. But I woke up one morning with like a pit in my stomach, and it had to do specifically with the case. Like, it was on my mind the night before, really heavy, and I just felt like maybe I'm just missing my husband during this time because we were stuck at home. But then it wasn't that, because it was during COVID time and I was in school, but everything was from home. So I got to talk to him more, we got to communicate and stuff more. It was a pro for us more than it was a con. I said, if I still feel like this, tomorrow morning, I'm going to call the National Visa Center. I thought part of it just had to do with me being a control freak. Like, I just want to have control over things, and I didn't know what was going on because somebody else was handling it and I was just being told like, sign here, sign here. I was kind of being ignorant on that. I was just like, okay, sure. I was like, why would they mess it up? How would they mess it up? Because they had filled out these forms before, once or twice, but I felt like something was wrong. I am grateful enough to have this platform, and then I had so many girls reach out and be like, girl, by now you should have received your receipt. By now you should have received this or did that. And I was like, I don't have any of it. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't have any of it. I woke up in the morning and I called. I've never done this before, okay? So I have no idea what's going on. I was just figuring it out. I was Googling, I was researching. I'm like, who do I call? What do I say? Thankfully, the person on the other end, it was so sweet. Case never went to the National Visa Center. And I was like, what do you mean? And then she explained to me there's this little section at the bottom that you have to check off. So once the form is accepted, it's sent to the National Visa Center, and then that's where they process it, and then they schedule an interview date. I don't know. I'm gonna cry thinking about it. We ain't gonna cry here. But when she told me that, everything went silent. And at the end of the day, I am a firm believer of everything happens for a reason, and I understand that I also need to take accountability of this because it was my papers, you know, nobody else's, and no one is going to take care of your stuff better than you are. I should have been paying more attention and asking more questions, just not being ignorant and relying on somebody just because you trust them. Right now couldn't have been a better timing of him being here. I'm much more mature. I got married at a young age. As much as I want to say, oh, I was mature, you still had a little bit more of maturity to get to. During this time, Mota focused on himself, worked on his craft, you know, got into plumbing, electrician, carpentry, barber. Like, he really worked on his craft, which is why he has a good job now. I spent my time focusing and honing in on my craft. We just made sure that the time that we were given, we cherished, but then also worked on ourselves so we could be the best versions of ourselves when he gets here. At the end of the day, it's all good. There's no ill feelings. I'm just excited to just start my life with my husband now. Oh my God. A lot of you guys were also asking me, what are some culture shocks my husband had? I have a bunch of videos on my Instagram telling you guys about the culture shocks. Having to pack your own takeout, put your own gas in, home renovations, and they are still going. The kitchen is the one that just still needs to be worked, but everything else is all done, and I'm in the process of starting to decorate. I did ask you guys what more content do you guys want in 2025, and a lot of you guys said more lifestyle, more home decor. Are you gonna be going to London? Yes, we are, inshallah. Please let me know if you want a detailed visa process video, because I'm not a lawyer, so you do not take any legal advice from me, but I'm happy to share the mistakes that we did so to avoid. So just make sure that you are double, triple, quadruple checking your paperwork. And I'm just gonna finish it off by saying, do not put off your doctor appointments, okay? This is the year we go to all our doctor appointments. I hope you have the best year, and also comment down what type of content you want to see from me in 2025. I love you guys.